everyone, and welcome to another edition of Hawk Talk. We're coming to you live from the Elks Lodge here in Indiana. We do this every Monday between 6 and 7 o'clock. Jack Benedict here, along with Coach Paul Tortorella. We have a special guest, couple of special guests coming up, one representing the Elks Lodge here at the 6:15 mark, and then one of our players of the week who had a spectacular play that helped IUP come away with a 35-12 win over Edinburgh at homecoming on Saturday. It was a terrific day, just terrific weather day, great parade, great game, and, that's the way we like it on homecoming. We've had enough of those homecoming dates, Coach, whenever we've had rain, but not Saturday. That was super, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was hot. It was probably as hot as it was maybe as hot as it was, I can't remember, Millersville or Lock Haven was pretty warm. So it was really pretty hot.
Well, let's talk about the team. You know, you and I have talked about it from time to time. Last year there were occasions when you had slow starts in game, but that has not been the case this year. And before you knew it, you were out to a 21-0 lead. Is there any approach that you're doing differently this year than you did last year?
We continue to talk about it and coach it, and I think we've got a lot of experienced players that understand that first quarter you got to set the tempo. You want to get the lead, you want to try to make your opponent one-dimensional and make them chase the game, and I think all three phases have done that. We haven't given up a point yet in the first quarter all year. And I'm not quite sure. I think we've scored in the 60s maybe in the 5 games in the first quarter. So, just because you win the first quarter doesn't mean you're going to win the game, but it helps.
And you don't have to play catch-up. Now,
right.
Of course, the thing was, too, with Edinburgh, you couldn't take it for granted even early because of the way they came back against Clarion the previous week.
Right, and you can't take it for granted against anybody, as we saw with Slippery Rock and Cal last week. You play a game against a team that maybe is a little bit of an underdog, and you let them hang in there for 3 quarters, and then come the fourth quarter, those odds for that underdog go up. And all the pressure's on the team that's quote unquote supposed to win. So you don't want to get in a battle. We were at 21-9 there, beginning of the third quarter. We missed a field goal. The momentum could have shifted, and then we got the defensive touchdown to turn it back around. But when we missed the field goal, they still had the momentum, and we needed a big play, and we got it out of the defense.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that later. We're going to hear from Terrell Williams a little bit later. We have a clip of the pass from Matthew Reevy to Maurice Massey that set up the first touchdown that Parker Gregg put in, and I'm going to put it up on the video board and run Renda Digital here, and then for the fans that are in our audience here at the Elks Lodge. And that, again, super plays. We look up above here, and, of course, he is making some great catches because they're double covering him everywhere.
Well, when you're one-on-one, that's the big man on little man theory.
Yeah.
And usually the big man wins. So luckily our guy's bigger than the defender. And when you get in those 50-50 balls, when you got a big receiver versus a little receiver, they end up being like 90-10 balls. We almost caught the other one. The kid did make a good recovery and knock the ball out, but then we got a pass interference. So we tried to hit him 3 times on the post. We hit him once. Almost made the catch on the second one, and then we got a pass interference on the third one. So we were 2 for 3 on that. Probably, need to take a couple more shots with him.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least with Matthew Reevy and Maurice Massa, they're on the same level, both around 6'4",
yeah,
at
and
least
the size
6'4".
is a big factor when you're playing deep balls as a wide out in the DB. It's a huge advantage if you're the bigger guy.
We can't talk enough, and you being a long-time defensive coordinator in the Division II ranks, and that's your specialty, but then taking over, you got to love what's happening with this defense. 9 sacks. You have 21 sacks right now. Last year you had 27 all told.
Right.
Are you, I think I even have it down here further, are you surprised that that's happening, or do you kind of expect that, hey, this might happen?
Well, our front's pretty good. Goodwin and Akungu, they're returning starters. Danielson and Williams, they're returning starters. And then we've got some depth when we put Vaughn and Mayo and Dominique in there. So, we're rolling 7 defensive linemen for 4 positions, so we're keeping them fresh also. We expected these guys to dominate, and they have.
Yeah, absolutely they have. And we have a sponsor in a contest that we run during the course of the game, and got a lot of winners, which is good because that bodes well for everybody. Let me go to the one I call the fans speak, and one of the fans wanted to know, will Parson and Banks continue to split the load in the backfield? Yeah, I mean, I think Parson had 22 touches on Saturday. Banks had, I think, 12 or 14. And we're looking for a third back to, maybe help the load there too. Parsons isn't the biggest guy, but he's very, very tough. You don't want to overuse him and get him all banged up. Banks is 200 pounds, and he's running well. And then we're spreading the ball out. A lot of the plays that Whitlock makes, he's almost like a running back, with the jet sweeps and the swing screens and so forth. So, like his touchdown, jet sweep to Whitlock, he went to the front side, and we really didn't have it, and he brought it back all the way across the field. And we had some good downfield blocking on the backside with actually Matt and Massey. They over-pursued, and they had nobody on the backside. That was a one-play, 11-yard touchdown drive, and Whitlock, kind of did it on his own. Yeah, he did, but it was an exciting play. When we talk about Parson, we talk about Banks. I don't think it's overlooked by the true football fan. They're pretty good receivers, too. Oh, yeah, they're excellent receivers, and this offense highlights being able to throw the ball to the running back. So we have 5 options on a lot of our pass game with the running back included in it. So if you're just rushing 4 and not bringing an extra guy or not bringing pressure, we're going to get the back out a lot. And we're throwing a lot of balls quick and behind the line of scrimmage to take the pressure off the offensive line and get the ball in space with, really all 3 guys, Parson, Banks, and Whitlock. What is the situation you mentioned about other backs? Randy Washington's been with a lower body injury. Right. It looked like Major okay, but how about Randy? Is he coming along? Well, we'll find out later this week, see where he's at. We got Majors and Doe, so if Randy's not ready to go, probably Majors will be the next one up. And he did some good things when he got in on against Millersville, on our home game before this. And then he got banged up a little bit and wasn't available at Seton Hill, but he was available yesterday. So he's probably right now, with Randy being injured, Majors is probably the third running back right now. A player that the homecoming crowd didn't get a chance to see was Jeremiah Coleman. How about him? What's his progress like? I think we probably could have maybe played him if we needed to Saturday. It probably would have been risky. So this off week will be really good for him to recover, and he should be ready to go, start practicing, probably later in the week. I have something I didn't want to have it slip my mind, and it has to do with slipping on the field. We saw a couple of the players. I don't know. I haven't even seen that in practice. They didn't wet the field down. No. I mean, there were some guys, both teams slipping a little bit out there. Part of it is you do got to come to balance and get your feet and hips underneath you at times. But it's not our turf is not a fast track right now. It's been there for a while. Yeah. So you got to really be under control and drop your hips. And if you don't,
those are the things that are happening.
There is, the fans, I think, pretty much know there's no game this weekend. It's a bye week for you. And in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, it'll be at Slippery Rock. We'll talk about those results in the PSAC a little bit later. But one of the questions from one of the fans was, with the Rock losing, do you have any concern about your guys taking them lightly?
No, I mean, what they do up until they play us really has no factor. Whatever they do before they play us, that has nothing to do with us or how we prepare or what we think of them. Obviously they have another game this weekend.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't concern us one way or the other.
All of a sudden, the opponents for both Slippery Rock and California this week seem to get a lot more hope after what happened the past weekend. It's just incredible, but it just goes to show that every game is, in football, you only play X number. They're so important.
Yeah, and if a couple, Gannon ran back a kickoff for a touchdown, and they recovered an onside kick. Things like that can turn a game.
Sure.
And Cal, the running back from Seton Hill, had a big day running the ball. So they went with a different quarterback, Seton Hill. So, Cal was coming off a big win against Slippery Rock, and Slippery Rock was coming off a tough loss against Cal. You just got to wipe it off and get ready for, that's the way we always talk, and I'm sure the coaches at Cal and Slippery Rock said the same thing. Mm-hmm. The next game is all that really matters, and you just got to make sure that your players understand that.
All right, we're going to be back. That's part one. And coming up, we're going to have a special guest coming in representing the Elks Lodge, and Alan Hicks. So stay with us. He's going to talk a little bit about certain things that the Elks and he personally is involved in. So we'll be back with Coach Tortorella. It's called Hawk Talk. We're coming to you live from the Elks Lodge here in Indiana on your 92.5 FM and also Renda Digital TV. Be right back.
Since 1936, Walker Motor Company in downtown Katanning has served Western Pennsylvania with its no-pressure, no-hassle environment, bringing the kind of family-owned and oriented dealer experience that everyone wants when it comes time to purchase a new or used vehicle. Whether you are looking for a new GMC, pre-owned vehicle, service, or collision repair, come on over to Walker Motors and see why they've been voted #1 for 6 straight years. Visit them at walker-motor.com.
Located along the beautiful Allegheny River in downtown Katanning, the Meredith Inn provides an atmosphere of casual upscale dining. If you're looking for the perfect venue for your next event, look no further than the Meredith Inn. Family gatherings, wedding rehearsal, business meeting, or just a night out. It's perfect for all occasions, and their menu has something for everyone, leaving all full and satisfied. For more information, visit them at themeredithinn.com or call 724-793-7364.
Looking for food, fun, and entertainment with a purpose? The Elks Lodge 931 in Indiana is more than a place. It's community. Become an Elk. Enjoy food, fun, bowling, music, events, and a banquet hall. Distinctly American, Elks are rooted in brotherly love, charity, fidelity, and justice. Annually giving tens of thousands to local charities. We give back not at the Elks, as an Elk. See them at 475 South 13th Street and on Facebook today. Elks Lodge 931, where community and compassion meet.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Elks Lodge here with Hawk Talk, coming your way each and every Monday. I do want to remind all of you, of course, IUP has a bye week, so they get to, we'll talk with the coach a little bit about that and how the practices will go leading up to the Slippery Rock game, which is on the 18th. So we will not have a show next Monday, but then we'll resume following on the Monday after the Slippery Rock game. I want to welcome Coach and I to Alan Hicks, who is with us representing the Elks Lodge. Alan, welcome aboard. Good to have you along here and talk a little bit about the Elks Lodge. How long have you been associated with them?
I've been associated with the Elks for 5 years now.
5 years now.
Yeah.
What is your particular responsibility that you might have, if any, with the Elks?
Yep. I am currently the leading knight in the Elks organization, and I'm also the Veteran Services Chair.
Yeah, I heard that you are pretty heavily involved in that. Tell us exactly what you do there.
What I do is I go around and I ask for donations of furniture, household goods, couches, chairs, tables, lamps, end tables, beds up to queen-size beds. I get small kitchen appliances, microwaves, toaster oven, stuff like that. Dishes, pots and pans, silverware. And what I do is all these donations come in, and if I have a veteran in need out there, I will gladly give it to them. That's what I do.
Let me follow up on that, because I know somebody personally right now has some chairs they'd like to give away.
Good.
So what do they do?
What do they do? They
contact you, or
they'll
what?
contact me or the Elks here, and I'll make arrangements to come pick them up. And I have a storage shed I put them in, and then I get with the different veteran service organizations around here and find out a veteran in need, and I'm gladly deliver it to them.
Yeah, Coach, this is just like with your players, that they above and beyond what they do.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we might have some stuff for you. We got a bunch of stuff at our house that we're trying to give away and
Good.
help out the vets.
Yeah, rearrange, because a lot of people just don't know what to do in that case. Is there anyone who will come and pick them up and that sort of thing, and then going to the veterans? I think that's great. The Elks Lodge does a lot of things for a lot of people, doesn't it?
Yes, we do. Yeah. We help this community out as much as we can.
I have a friend who has been a member here for 50 plus years. And of course, if you're a member in Indiana, you're a member everywhere, right?
Oh, yes, you are. You can go to any Elks organization across the United States.
What is your next appointment? You have another appointment coming up? I mean, or you're kind of like on call all the time, right?
Yes, I'm pretty much on call. I'm pretty much here every day.
Yeah.
So.
Have you? I don't notice. We have a good crowd here tonight. It's
Very
been a
good crowd tonight.
Have you been here before? Of course. With us?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been to every Hawk Talk.
You've been tucked away back in the corner. Well, listen, I'm glad you could come along and tell us and what you're doing and what the Elks Lodge is. Is there anything in particular that the Lodge has coming up? I noticed there's out in the marquee, I'll put it that way. You have some things going for this weekend.
Oh, this month we are busy every weekend. This weekend we have a Killing Time. It's a country band. The weekend after that we have our rummage sale, and we're asking for donations for that too. Whatever you donate, we'll sell, and that also goes to the veterans. Or people from the Elks here can bring their stuff in and try and sell it too.
Yeah.
After that, we have our adult Halloween party, and we're going to have a kids Halloween party downtown. And then we go right into November and December. This is our big holiday months.
I would think that when you get to the fall, things really pick up.
They pick up quick.
Yeah. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate you coming over and talking with us, Coach. Relinquishing a little bit of the time here. So thanks to everybody who's here tonight.
That. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Okay, we're going to be back with Coach Tortorella, and we're going to go from what we just handled to some football talk. I'm sure Alan will be happy to see that, too. Be back in just a moment. We're coming to you live from the Elks Lodge every Monday, Hawk Talk, here on U92Radio.com and also Renda Digital TV. We'll take this time out.
Show your IUP spirit and get your hawk on with help from the Co-op Store, your one-stop location for all your IUP swag and apparel. Check out Norm's Bargain area for $25 fleeces and hoodies. Logo tees only $9.99. The Co-op Store is also the alumni headquarters. IUP is always in your heart, so put something on your front and back that shows that alumni spirit. IUP logoed water bottles, coffee mugs, spirit items for your dorm or man cave. And don't forget the Oak Grove collection. Get your hawk on at the Co-op Store or find them online at IUPstore.com.
It's Dowd's 75th anniversary, and to show our appreciation, we're offering special anniversary savings to our friends and customers. Right now at Dowd's, get 75th anniversary savings up to 40% on custom orders, and even bigger savings on floor samples. Whether you're looking for new furnishings for one room or for your entire home, our 75th anniversary pricing can save you thousands.
Hurry in for huge savings at Dowd's of Plumville and Dowd's of Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowd's?
Looking for food, fun, and entertainment with a purpose? The Elks Lodge 931 in Indiana is more than a place. It's community. Become an Elk. Enjoy food, fun, bowling, music, events, and a banquet hall. Distinctly American, Elks are rooted in brotherly love, charity, fidelity, and justice. Annually giving tens of thousands to local charities. We give back not at the Elks, as an Elk. See them at 475 South 13th Street and on Facebook today. Elks Lodge 931, where community and compassion meet.
And welcome back, everybody. We're coming to you live from the Elks Lodge. It's a really busy night. We have a great crowd here at the Elks Lodge, and you're welcome each and every time to come along and join us between 6 and 7 every Monday. Once again, we won't have a show next week because of the bye week with Slippery Rock, but we'll be back here with 2 weeks. And we're really filling that chair pretty good here tonight, Tor, aren't we?
Yeah.
You brought along one of your defensive stalwarts. Logan Danielson is with us right now. Logan, good to have you along.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, you're pretty familiar with this show, I'm sure. You've been around the IUP for a while, haven't you?
Yes, sir, quite a while now.
Tell us about your anybody that follows high school football or IUP football is pretty much aware of you, your name, watching you play, and all that sort of thing. Give us a little background of your high school career, which was terrific.
I went to Thomas Jefferson, where I won a couple of WPIAL championships there with Coach Cherpak. Won state championship in 2019, and then committed to come play here at IUP because I want to go from a winning culture to a winning culture.
How did it come about? It didn't take much. You had to be aware of him right away, and you weren't the only one. I'm sure there were a lot of people after him.
Yeah, pretty heavily recruited throughout the conference, and you know, if he was probably 2 inches taller, he would have probably went Division I. To be honest with you, so we were fortunate that he wasn't 6'3" like a lot of the Power Fives wanted, but he was totally productive and was a great high school football player, and we heavily recruited him and beat out a lot of other PSAC schools, and he's persevered and has become a great player, going on his third year starting, and this year's been very productive. But his perseverance and his resiliency are part of who he is, because some guys think when they come to IUP, everything's going to just be great when you first get here, and it's, sometimes there's some roadblocks, and he's done a great job persevering, being resilient, loves IUP, and has been a great representative for the university.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about not only this season, but that had to be, like, for someone like you that's been here for so long, 9 sacks in the game, everybody sharing. You had a couple of them. Have you ever been in a game like that, even in a high school game, with that much pressure on a quarterback?
No, I don't think I've ever been a part of a game where we've pulled off 9 sacks. That's just absolutely insane for a defense to do. I love to see it, especially coming from the defensive line room. I love seeing all my guys succeed. And we get after it in the D-line room, and everyone's supporting everyone in that room.
Yeah, I know Coach and I have talked about this before, about more depth on the defensive line this year, because that's pretty. You got veterans for the most part. A couple of young guys like the Logan on the other end and so on, but that has to be a strength for the team too. Especially, we've been playing in games, the home games, almost 80 degrees. I'm sure you welcome a break from time to time.
Yeah, I think it helps everyone in the room be more productive when guys can go out there with fresh legs. And a couple of young guys stepping up, like you said, Logan Goodwin and Naeem Dominique. He's been a real big part of the D-line this year too. But just being able to have that rotation is so helpful for everyone in the room. Yeah,
and of course with the the edge players that you have too. When we were looking, and how about Terrell, huh? Williams, huh? Were you part of the cheering section in the end zone?
Oh, absolutely. If Coach Meach wouldn't have held me back, I would have ran down on the end zone and probably got a penalty myself going down there before he was even in the end zone.
That's in all these years I've been covering games, I could say like a handful of where linemen for offense or defense, one or the other, has scored. What a thrill that was for everybody, really, huh?
Yeah, I mean, saw him today and was kidding around. You know, he played tight end in high school, Terrell, and
we have it on the
his
big
number
board.
was 25. So I said, hey, you look like you were back in high school playing tight end when you were running into the end zone. He did a good job scooping. Sometimes that isn't as easy as it looks.
Yeah. Now Randy really put the pressure on the
ball. Yeah, Kungu got it out, and
I'm so
it was just laying there.
I'm glad that whistle didn't blow.
Yeah, I mean it was close. I mean they could have challenged it, but I don't think it would have got overturned. His knee might have been down, but I don't think it would have got overturned, and that's probably why they didn't challenge it.
Yeah, that had to just be a tremendous uplift at that particular point, because Edinburgh, although they got by early, as we've talked about, they battled you, and little by little they were trying to make that had to do a lot for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It any big splash play like that gives them a defense momentum. We were playing consistently all game, but having a momentum swinging play like that can turn the whole game around. And
Tell us about an award, if I'm correct, that you won, which is from high school, Bill Freilich Award.
Yeah,
that's pretty prestigious stuff. If somebody goes in there and takes a look at the list, they say, "Wow, I remember him from where and there." It's a great list. When you won that, were you surprised? Do you get nominated first?
So it was the first year that it was an award when I was nominated.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and I honestly didn't have too much of an idea of who Bill Freilich was, so once I got nominated, I had to go and do my research, but I was also preoccupied because a few days before we were in the state championship. So I played that and then won that, and then went to this award ceremony and ended up winning that. It was an awesome week for me.
Wow. Yeah, I'd say. Well, so I could see why there were many other schools after him.
I mean, and they were really good. And they've got good players, and Coach Cherpak's a great coach. He's a former Pitt offensive lineman, and he knew Freilich very well. And I was in the same graduating class in high school with Freilich, and I never had to play against him, but I did see him play a playoff game his senior year, and it was unbelievable. So when he went to Pitt and started right away as he was the best offensive lineman maybe ever in college football.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that's how good he was.
Yeah. Well, you have to be certainly honored with that situation. How about this team this year? I know one of the questions I had here from the fans is they really have enjoyed watching you guys play both ways, offense, defensively, special teams. Everything so far in the first half of the year has come together. Senior year, last year, right?
Could be. Yes.
You got to be happy with what the heck is happening here.
Absolutely. I think out of all my years here, this is the most complimentary football we played, and Coach talks about it all the time in our meetings. The offense can go out there and have a good drive, and the defense have a bad drive. The defense can have a good drive, offense could have a bad drive, but no matter what, we have to complement each other, all three phases, special teams, defense, and offense. And I think this year, the most out of any year that I've played, that we've been doing that. When the offense gets a turnover, the defense isn't complaining about it. We go out there and do what we need to do. When the defense doesn't have such a great drive or let up a score, the offense goes back out there and gets it right back for us.
And we've talked again, the crowd, we had over 5,100. They seem to, well, of course, when the weather's so great, what else are you going to do? We go watch football, and that's got to be a big booster for all of you guys this year, I would think. You make a big play, hey, it helps a lot. When the crowd is solemn, that doesn't help as much, does it?
No, not as much. Having the crowd energy is nice to feed off of. I think on the team we are good at self-starting without having the crowd, but having it there is always so much fun.
How about practice? Many of us watch a lot of your practices. When you go good on good, one against two, so on. It should make you all better, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Each individual?
Absolutely. We have a bunch of competitors on the team. Everyone on the team wants to win, whether it be practice or a game. So when we get in those practices and we go in those good-on-good periods, we got some seriously good guys on offense, so we don't want to lose to them because we want to get better just like they do. So it creates good competition.
We talked about the 38-yard touchdown run by Terrell Williams, and we find out that his nickname is Turtle. Did you guys Did you know that? Was it before, or how did that come about?
Yeah, I believe he got that name in high school, but it's what everyone on the team has always called him since he's come here.
I've got to ask you this. You wear number 8 as a defensive lineman. I'm trying to remember what your number was before.
Yeah, I was number 99 last year.
99, that's right. Yeah, and the young guy from Latrobe has that now. Why did you switch? Superstition or run out of jerseys or what?
No, it just, figured if it could possibly be my last year playing here, why not do something fun? And I thought a single digit on a defensive lineman was fun. So I asked if I could get it, and they were nice enough to let me wear a single digit this year.
There you go, and it's working.
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah, it surely is. Well, I guess it's guys like Logan that have been here in the program. They've seen good, they've seen struggling, that sort of thing. We still have a half a year to go. I'm sure that's what the coaches are telling you. You can't just go out. We saw that last week with not only from the NFL to Division I to Division II.
Right.
Upsets everywhere.
Sure.
Yeah. So mentally, how tough is this game mentally?
Sometimes you have to remember it's a marathon, not a sprint. Each week is a season of its own, but you have to remember that we have another season next week. So preparing, and this bye week is huge for us, able to get some rest and coming in the following week with some fresh legs. But mentally, it's just remembering that it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah. One other thing. What do you look forward in the future? What's your major? What's in the future for you?
I am a human development and family science major. I would like to try my hand at coaching before I get into any profession. So that's what I'm looking for in the next few years.
Well, you have a couple of former players with you now that are helping out. Volunteer guys.
We've had a ton of guys obviously come through the program. Matt Scott. He was the head coach at Edinburgh. He played for us.
There you go.
Usually guys, like Logan, and you could see that they would have a lot of success if they want to go that route, because they these guys are coaching our young guys. I'll look over on the sideline and he'll be talking to one of the young D linemen, and a lot of guys are really good about that. And but if he'd be a great coach.
Yeah. Good luck in the future, and good luck rest of the season. Thanks for joining us, Logan.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on.
There you go, Logan Danielson, one of our star players for IUP on the defensive side. Okay, we're going to continue with Hawk Talk. We'll be back from the Elks Lodge after we take a time out on U92Radio.com and Renda Digital TV. We'll be right back.
Since 1936, Walker Motor Company in downtown Katanning has served Western Pennsylvania with its no-pressure, no-hassle environment, bringing the kind of family-owned and oriented dealer experience that everyone wants when it comes time to purchase a new or used vehicle. Whether you are looking for a new GMC, pre-owned vehicle, service, or collision repair, come on over to Walker Motors and see why they've been voted #1 for 6 straight years. Visit them at walker-motor.com.
Located along the beautiful Allegheny River in downtown Katanning, the Meredith Inn provides an atmosphere of casual upscale dining. If you're looking for the perfect venue for your next event, look no further than the Meredith Inn. Family gatherings, wedding rehearsal, business meeting, or just a night out. It's perfect for all occasions, and their menu has something for everyone, leaving all full and satisfied. For more information, visit them at themeredithinn.com or call 724-793-7364.
It's Dowd's 75th anniversary, and to show our appreciation, we're offering special anniversary savings to our friends and customers. Right now at Dowd's, get 75th anniversary savings up to 40% on custom orders, and even bigger savings on floor samples. Whether you're looking for new furnishings for one room or for your entire home, our 75th anniversary pricing can save you thousands.
Hurry in for huge savings at Dowd's of Plumville and Dowd's of Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowd's?
Back, everyone. We're at Hawk Talk here at the Elks Lodge, continuing till 7 o'clock with Coach Paul Tortorella. Team is now in with a record of 4-1, and of course getting ready for Slippery Rock on the 18th. So you have the bye week. Next year you're going to play all the time because Lackawanna is going to play some games when they join the league. Would you rather, one of the fans here, the fans speak, would you rather have a bye week And how are you handling practice?
Yeah, it's right at a perfect time. It's right in the middle of the season. We've played 5. We have 5 games left. It's good to kind of reset, get guys healthy. Like Logan said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Want to try to take the off week and work on things where we need to make improvements. And also the things we're doing well, continue to work on them in practice. And, you know, kind of one of the worst things you could do is take the off week and go out there and just beat them up, you know, because you don't have a game this Saturday. So we're not going to do that by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. So we'll practice. They have tomorrow off. We had our normal Monday today. They'll have tomorrow off. We'll practice Wednesday, Thursday, a short practice Friday, and then they'll have the weekend off next weekend, and we'll be ready to go Monday to start up game week.
Yeah, when you're talking about a marathon, no matter what sport, rest. So
yeah, it's a long season. Yeah, I mean, it really is.
And everybody likes to make it longer.
Yeah, I mean, it sure helps if you're good enough to continue to playing after the season. It makes it even longer.
Yeah. Here's from the category here, the fans speak. Question for you. Toward the end of the game, about 7 minutes left in the game, our fan here said noticed a rather animated conversation between the coaches and a couple of officials. Was there anything particular that was about? I don't remember it, but
it might have been about the horse collar penalty. I could see where the official thought it was a horse collar, but it was really up on the shoulder pad and was just trying to get what actually he saw. Obviously, it didn't have anything to do with the game, but, you know, we want to make sure we're talking to our players and explaining to them what's a horse collar and what isn't a horse collar. And so that was about all that
what that was.
You know, yeah.
Special teams. Can't say enough for Nick Andrasi, Aiden Spittler, your kickers, your long snappers have been here forever, Ryan Legier and Braden Landher.
Right.
You know, that was a good thing knowing when you came into the season, that these guys were all back. Let me ask you specifically with Nick. He's getting more distance. I even took a look. He's got it like 61.5 yards, 61.5 on kickoffs, about 59 something last year. I got to ask him, but any particular reason?
I mean, I know he worked on it over the summer. You know, we've been scoring a lot of points, so he's kicking off a lot. We had 5 touchbacks on Saturday, and they were legitimate. I mean, they were through the back of the end zone. That's probably the best he's ever kicked off in a game. He was upset about missing the field goal, 42-yarder. But at the end of the day, his kickoffs were tremendous. And then Spittler had a big punt there at the end of the first half. We were backed up, and he got a 49-yard punt that had a ton of hang time. So I think we were on our own 18, and they fair caught it on their own, 32-yard line. So it was 49-yard net. So that helped us go into the half. And, I think we had to play 2 plays before the half was over. But if he doesn't get off a very good punt, they're going to get the ball on our side of the 50 with some time left on the clock at the end of the first half.
Yeah. Also from the fans speak, are you surprised by how the pass rush has been this year? I don't know. You've known these guys and you knew who was coming back and what you might have. Does the city surprise you or not?
I mean, not really. I mean, obviously we're not expecting them to get 9 sacks a game.
Right.
But we have called up a lot of pressure and have blitzed a great deal. And that also helps because it singles up our D linemen on their O linemen. So between that and our guys winning one-on-one and our stunt game, we've just gotten a ton of production from our front four.
So you've put in more packages this year, or not?
Not so much packages, but we got an older team, guys that have played together for a long time, so we can do more. You don't want to do too much, but our guys can handle it, and we've got a bunch of different ways to create pressure, either straight rush, stunning, or blitzing. And our guys are have become really good at the whole different phases of how we can create pressure because of their experience.
Yeah. Here's another question from the fan. At field corner, has either Willie or Amagatcher solidified their roles, or how you played that?
Well, Amagatcher played really well Saturday. The last 3 quarters he played, he took most of the snaps, and he played pretty well. So he probably would be obviously we're almost 2 weeks away from the next game, so there's a lot that can happen between now and then. But he's probably, developed into probably being the starter for our next game.
Isn't it nice to have depth and have competition?
Yeah, I mean, we actually have 10 guys for 5 positions. We actually have 3 strong safeties that we're playing. Mekhi Johnson's played really well at star. We have Tamir O'Neal as our number 2 star. And obviously the 2 field corners, and then McCaskill and Bo Waddell. And, Clax started Saturday. Him and Awuah split. I think they both played about 30 plays each. And then we got Bertrand, the true freshman that plays in nickel, and he's our 3rd strong safety. So we actually have 11 guys.
Most of the guys you're mentioning here are returnees, too.
Yeah, and then you got Frazier, who's been a senior, and we're still young. I mean, Noah Johnston's a junior, but really we're still fairly young at those positions.
Were you surprised that when you got up 21-0 and Edinburgh scored, they went for 2?
No, they do that. That's their reindeer.
That's their deal,
We call them reindeer games. They come out with that, And believe me, it's been effective. I think they were 4 for 5 doing that during the season. So we worked on it. We were expecting it, and they do a lot of different things from that. I mean, a lot. Like the 5 times they've done it, they did 5 totally different things. So we just had what you got to do is get lined up first off, because there's guys all over the place. You don't know who's eligible. We just cover the guys that got eligible numbers. If there's 10 guys out there with eligible numbers, we're covering all 10 of them because it's too hard to figure out who's eligible and who isn't with the way they line up.
Yeah.
And then Frazier made a really good play by falling off of his guy when he saw the guy go to the flat, and he leveled on it and made a really good play.
Yeah.
But they've had a ton of success. Like I said, they were 4 for 5 with that. They call it muddle, huddle, swinging gate.
Yeah,
and they do it right after they score. It's their 2-point play.
Yeah. The red zone. Guys are perfect the last 2 weeks.
Right.
9 for 9, I think.
Yeah, both sides of the ball have played really well in the red zone, both offensively and defensively. Scoring touchdowns on offense and forcing either field goals. We were in the red zone 4 times the other day on defense, and we forced 2 field goals. And they scored 1 touchdown, and we stopped them on 4th down 1 time. So our red zone percentage is pretty high. And then 3rd and 4th down, both sides of the ball are playing. I think we're at 25% on 3rd and 4th down, one of the top percentages actually in the country. So, 3rd and 4th down defense, red zone defense, those are high leverage situations where a lot of points can get scored. And when you got a chance to get off the field on 3rd and 4th down, you got to do it. And then by the other token, we've been pretty good on 3rd down that we've only gone for it 1 time on 4th down all year. So we've been ahead of the chains a lot. And like Saturday, I think we only had 9 3rd down plays. We were 5 for 9. Now, we lost a couple possessions with 2 of the turnovers and then scoring on defense. So our offense really would have been out there for 3 more possessions. We had 2 plays and we fumbled. Then we had 2 plays and we had another fumble. So that's 2 series. And then we scored on defense where we lost the series. Now, of our 3 turnovers, 2 of them really were the defense. Like Edinburgh made 2 really good. Like we had 3 turnovers. One of them, we can't let happen. The other 2 was the defense caused it. They made a great hit on Whitlock and caught the deflection. And then the run into the boundary on our sideline with Parsons, the guy put his helmet right on the football. I mean, that doesn't happen very often. And the ball.
We could see that from where we were. Yeah.
You got to give the defense credit, too. I mean, everybody's screaming about the turnovers, and we are, too. But 2 of them were forced.
Well, they were pretty physical, weren't they?
Yeah, especially on defense.
Yeah, that's what I mean, defense.
Defensively, they were pretty physical. we thought we could get after their offensive line on the pass rush. And, a couple weaknesses that we saw, we took advantage of.
Well, you did take advantage of that, no question. So you're 4-1. First half of the season is over. Bye week. 5 games to go. Regular season. 2 home, 3 away. The question is, what do you need to do to get better? What particular areas do you need to kind of clean up a little bit?
Well, our turnover ratio needs to get better. I mean, we forced 3 takeaways Saturday and scored on defense, which was good. But we did have 3 turnovers on offense. So we got to win the turnover ratio, and I think that's the number one thing that, we work on daily. But that's where we got to get better in that. Like if you pick out certain phases, the one that stands out, we're minus in turnover ratio. And then, cut down on some penalties. We're very aggressive on defense. The one personal foul roughing the passer, we still can't see it on film. We have no idea why it's called, who was called on it. Now, the other one on Santos was late. It was a definite roughing the passer. So that one's got to be fixed. And then, we had a holding call offensively, which is a physical penalty. It's not a mental error, that kind of put us back up there on our last series of the first half, and that's when we needed Spittler's punt, where he came through for us, and that's what we're talking about, complementary football.
Yeah.
Both offense, defense, and special teams, and our punt return game's been great with Frazier back there. Actually, the punt return at the end of the half that he fair caught, if he doesn't fair catch it, it literally is probably going to go for a 70-yard touchdown. There's nobody, like he runs up to catch it and fair catches it on our, I think it was the third, there was nobody there. Like he had a chance to go all the way with it. But he was fair catching it because we were backed up and it was near the end of the half.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to take a chance. But they covered, they got in behind him, trying to get it buried inside the 10, and their coverage was not very good. And we had 2 blockers in front of them, and there is nothing in front of him for 70 yards. And he's obviously got great speed. We looked at it, and we thought, you know what, if he doesn't fair catch this has a chance to go all the way.
Wow.
But he still averaged over 12 yards a return anyway. And our kick coverage has been good. Our specialists have been really good. So the kicking game has been a winning edge for us with both sides of the ball.
Didn't see any serious injuries.
No, we came out of the game. Koval rolled his ankle a little bit, but he's fine. He'll practice probably later in the week. We're hoping, we feel like we're going to probably, with the week off, have pretty much everybody back ready to go for the next game.
Yeah, that's on the 18th. That's at Slippery Rock. Oh, you knew that. We're going to have, after we take our break, we're going to have a winner here at the Meredith Inn. Here's a question from somebody in the audience here, and you've addressed this many, many times in the last few days, but for people that didn't hear, did the quarterback, Marchitelli's comments, fire the team up?
I mean, probably. I mean, social media, like 20 years ago, nobody knows anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, kids get on, so we tell our players, don't do that. Don't get on social media. Don't be poking the bear, so to speak. And our guys are pretty good about it. Our guys are pretty good about not talking in pregame warm-ups, because that just fuels the fire of the other team. And they may have, these guys talk. I mean, they're still friends with them.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they had conversations last week, and but we felt like we could take advantage of our offensive line, which we did, and it just so happened he was the quarterback, and we hit him 16 times. We had 9 sacks, but he got hit 16 times.
Yeah, see, those are some of the stats you don't find out till later, but wow. Okay, we're going to be back with a final segment here. We have a winner for Meredith Inn coming up, so stay with us. Final comments coming up here on Hawk Talk with the coach, and you're viewing and listening to Hawk Talk at the Elks Lodge, coming your way on U92Radio.com and Renda Digital TV.
It's Dowd's 75th anniversary, and to show our appreciation, we're offering special anniversary savings to our friends and customers. Right now at Dowd's, get 75th anniversary savings up to 40% on custom orders, and even bigger savings on floor samples. Whether you're looking for new furnishings for one room or for your entire home, our 75th anniversary pricing can save you thousands.
Hurry in for huge savings at Dowd's of Plumville and Dowd's of Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowd's?
Looking for food, fun, and entertainment with a purpose? The Elks Lodge 931 in Indiana is more than a place. It's community. Become an elk. Enjoy food, fun, bowling, music, events, and a banquet hall. Distinctly American, Elks are rooted in brotherly love, charity, fidelity, and justice. Annually giving tens of thousands to local charities. We give back not at the Elks, as an elk. See them at 475 South 13th Street and on Facebook today. Elks Lodge 931, where community and compassion meet.
Show your IUP spirit and get your hawk on with help from the Co-op Store, your one-stop location for all your IUP swag and apparel. Check out Norm's Bargain area for $25 fleeces and hoodies. Logo tees only $9.99. The Co-op Store is also the alumni headquarters. IUP is always in your heart, so put something on your front and back that shows that alumni spirit. IUP logoed water bottles, coffee mugs, spirit items for your dorm or man cave. And don't forget the Oak Grove collection. Get your hawk on at the Co-op Store or find them online at IUPstore.com.
We are back with the final segment here, the final minutes, about 6 minutes or so. And, one of our sponsors, in addition to the Co-op Store and the Elks Lodge, the Meredith Inn in Katanning, and they give away a $10 gift card for dinner at the Meredith Inn down along the river there. So we had the name chosen by the young lady up front. Stan Europe is our winner. Congratulations to Stan. You got yourself a gift card here from the Meredith Inn. We thank those folks. We have a connection with them, too, with the former players at IUP. Well, we've got the week break. I got to ask you about this. I haven't mentioned this. It was quite a week in football. And it was like, what is going on? Eagles lose. Bills lose. Penn State didn't show up. And in the conference, Cal and Slippery Rock lose. Your thoughts about what the heck's going on? Particularly the conference here.
Well, just in general, again, when two teams are playing and there's a team that's obviously the favorite and there's an underdog, the longer that game goes and it's in the balance, all the pressure's on the favorite. Okay, UCLA against Penn State, they got 0 to lose. So if that game is in the balance in the second half, all the pressure's on Penn State. It's the same thing with Slippery Rock against Gannon. It's the same thing with Cal against Seton Hill. That's why we talk about getting off the fast starts and trying to, get the lead and not get in a one-score game, because the longer that game goes, the percentages go with the underdog. And as you saw, the Gannon game with Slippery Rock, that's a 3-point game. And then, it was a nip and tuck the whole game. Mm-hmm. Seton Hill, Cal was winning 7-6 most of the game, so they obviously couldn't put them away. Seton Hill comes back and wins. Penn State gets behind. Like, they go and they get they're down 3 touchdowns at halftime, so that's game's going to be they got to fight to just get back in the game. Same thing. Eagles get beat by 4 points, I guess, and the Bills get beaten overtime. So all those close games, the pressure, you get in the fourth quarter, the pressure goes on the favorite. And these underdogs, they have a way of that's how you get upsets.
Mm-hmm. Well, the next game for IUP is Slippery Rock, and that it's usually maybe the team that's the home team. They're coming off 2 losses in a row, which is, they've been tremendous the last how many years, and of course their biggest rival is IUP. So it's probably good that it's an online game, and the pressure. The thing is too. We've talked about IUP, Slippery Rock, IUP, Cal, and so on. Clarion's improved this year, so now you think, Gannon, that's the home game. There you go. Got to be ready for everything.
Well,
don't you?
well, look again, and they're 0-4 non-league. They're 1-0 in the conference.
Yeah, you got it.
You know, so like they're 1-0 in the conference, and you know, so it's every game has its own peaks and valleys, so to speak. You know, this week Slippery Rock's going to have to go down to Seton Hill and play Seton Hill. Seton Hill just came off an upset of Cal. I'm not quite sure who Cal plays this week, but you know, we'll get a chance to take the weekend off and get ready to play next week. But I think, like, bye weeks are great if they come at the right time, and ours comes at the perfect time. Like, if it's the third week of the season, that's the worst. You don't want that, and you don't really want it at the end of the year either.
Well, you're not going to have to deal with it next year because everybody, you get 11 games with the Ashland game.
So, you know, in the past, we've had bye weeks, you know, when we've made the playoffs and we were the number 1 seed in 22 and 17. And we went on to win after the bye week, but I thought in 17 we handled it a lot better than we did in 22, even though we won both games after the bye week. So you just got to do a good job with the players, and a lot of your starters or guys that are close to starting got to really you don't need to take your 5 or 6 quote-unquote A players and work them real hard this week. You know, we got a lot of guys that have, on this team that have played a lot of football.
Yes.
So they won't practice as much as our 2s and our younger guys, to be honest with you. They'll still practice to stay sharp.
Sure.
But they could use the rest, you know. And the one good thing is, even this past week, you know, we still didn't play that many plays. I think we had 59 plays on defense and only 51 plays on offense. So, you know, it's not like we're playing a ton of plays. And then Seton Hill week, Millersville week, and Lockhaven week, our ones were out of there midway through the second half. So we don't have an over-accumulation of plays after 5 games, like where guys have played 65 plays a game, and that's adds up to over 300 plays already. So, you know, we can use the rest. It's not like we're wore down. We can get a couple guys healthy. And you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So it's coming at a really good time.
Yeah. Thanks, Tort. Appreciate it a lot.
Okay, buddy.
We'll see you in 2 weeks here at Hawk Talk, in 2 weeks at the Elks Lodge. Thanks to the coach, thanks to Alan and to Logan, and thanks to all of you for coming here. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks with Hawk Talk here from the Elks Lodge on U92Radio.com and Renda Digital TV. Have a Major League night.
The preceding program has been a special sports presentation of
Good night, Jack.
Thank you, dear.